This video is officially sponsored by the 90's. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because today I am going to show you what I have thrifted throughout spring. I think I did another thrift video about a month ago, and I don't know what's wrong with me during like summer, and when the weather gets a little bit warmer I start to thrift more things. But I also wanted to combine this with some stuff that I have found that are not thrifted but some sustainable brands that I've been enjoying. So it's going to be like a eco-friendly fashion haul. Some is thrifted, some is vintage, and some is reused, some is dead stock. There's tons of stuff going on here, but I thought this would be nice. I like to do these sorts of videos, especially when the seasons change a lot. So I'm going to give you guys some eco-friendly styling tips as well, and I'm going to show you how I sort of style this and how I interpret current trends, but through a lens of sustainability and zero waste. So let's just get started. I have a lot of stuff going on, so I'm going to start out with a tip, because what I do when summer arrives is that I find winter clothes. And I know a lot of people do this in normal, shops as well, but you can actually also do this in thrift shops, because a lot of thrift shops usually have sales racks, discount racks with clothes that are out of season. Meaning like summer clothes are cheaper in the winter and winter clothes are cheaper during the summer, which makes total sense, which is why I always end up picking up really cool things for autumn and winter when summer is arriving. And that's also what happened today. Or not like today, was, I don't know, last month. But I got this big army corduroy jacket. It's so big and oversized, and this is from a fast fashion brand, but it is reused, it is secondhand. I have this thing where I'm kind of okay with shopping secondhand fast fashion if the things I'm buying are rather basic or, generic. But there are also styles from fast fashion stores that you just instantly know, oh, that's from Zara, oh, that's from H&M. And like it can be styles or prints, whatever, and I kind of don't want to do that because I don't want to signal, hey, I went down to the store and got this, but I don't necessarily think you do that with a lot of basic stuff. So that's just like my 2 cents on that. But I really like my new coat, and I'm going to style it already like through August, September, where the nights are going to be a little bit chillier. Then I can style it with shorts and a little tank top or something underneath, but I really like it. Yay! So I think that on the same day I got the coat, I also got shoes. What can you do? This is like, I cannot show you this, like the top of the shoe without also showing you the fast fashion brand, which is unfortunate. And I don't want to advertise and like, give them publicity or whatnot, so I kind of want to keep it on the low. Do you feel? But I really like a cute little summer sandal like this, and you can find this style in a lot of thrift shops right now because it's kind of 90s inspired, and that is really in at the moment. So you can actually also just find things from the 90s that look exactly like this. But I really like that it has, if you can see this fabric on here, I think it's really cute. And I got this for about 5 quid, something like that. Really cheap, but generally a lot of thrift stores in Denmark are rather cheap. Unless you go to, like more high-end and vintage, then the price obviously goes up. But just for normal Red Cross stores, it's really cheap, which is nice. Which also means that I am around the worst minimalist I've ever met. I like secondhand shopping, so sometimes it gets a little out of hand. But I think I want to get into some of the things that are not secondhand. I have a few items from one of my favorite brands of all time called Marla Clothing. They are located here in Denmark. It's a Danish brand with an atelier in Copenhagen, and I visited their atelier a couple of times. The owner is super cool and really inspired by zero waste practices, which is something that you can see has affected her entire production line. It's so cool. So always a tip generally, and she sent me a lot of amazing things that I can use throughout the summer, so I thought I wanted to show you, but they were gifts, just want to make that clear. And I also have a discount code that I will leave down below if you are interested in some of these items as well. The first thing, is this denim dress, and this is so cool. Now, I've said plenty of times I don't buy new denim because denim is actually one of the fabrics that are the most resource intensive to make, especially if you want like a acid wash like distressed look. It takes so much water, so many chemicals to do, and it's really unsustainable. This dress, on the other hand, was made entirely from dead stock fabrics. If you don't know, dead stock fabric is the term that we use to describe waste fabric. A normal production line usually has some dead stock because, you know, you have to cut it, and in fast fashion the amount of dead stock produced, that is the amount of waste fabric, is enormous, because most of these brands don't care, because the clothes, aka the fabrics, are really cheap, so it's not really a money issue, so they don't really care if there's anything that's wasted. The markup is insane on these products, by the way. So this dress is made entirely from fabric that would otherwise have been thrown away. And I think that is so flippin' amazing. And she has all kinds of other things on her website as well. She makes scrunchies as well from waste fabric from her own production line, so nothing is wasted. And it's just a full circle moment for me, and I love that. There is also this, and I don't own anything in this color, and I'm so excited to use it because it's so flipping cute. This is made from tencel. Tencel is a wood-based fabric that is super sustainable and requires generally much less water than, for instance, cotton. So this is really cute. Marla Clothing has a few different colors, and what I really like especially are these small ruffles at the ends. They are everywhere. And this reminds me of clothes I owned in the 90s, and I absolutely stand. Another thing that I got, and this is one of the dresses I think that are about to be sorted out of their web shop because they don't make anymore. It's also one of those brands where there is not like an infinite amount of clothes, because she only makes what she knows she can sell, which I also, again, less waste, think is really awesome. But I love me a good slick dress, and you can layer this with like a jumper if it gets cold, and I love it. It has a high turtleneck. I just live, and I have been so lazy with colors lately. I use beige and white and black because I'm super comfortable in those colors, but it is also amazing and nice to sort of intimidate myself a little bit and just sort of challenge myself. And the last thing, this is a linen shirt. I was about to, you know, forget what the word shirt was. Cool. But this is made from linen. Linen is also an amazing material that I love to bits. Ooh, big sleeves. And this is just such a nice flowy. Just a big shout out to Marla because she rocks, yo. And I have another brand that I have two things from, and these two things are accessories. I worked with Linnell Vintage during Easter, and Linnell Vintage is a really cool concept. This is the first pair. This is the second pair of sunglasses, because can you feel this? Because what they do is that they buy vintage frames from the 70s and the 60s, and also the 80s and the 90s, I reckon. Just generally retro or vintage frames, and then they restore them. They find frames at flea markets all over Europe, and then they work with local businesses to restore them with the glosses in. And I think it's an intensely cool concept. It's a tiny business, and I know one of the founders who also lives here in Oldberg, and I just thought I wanted to give them a shout out because I think this is amazing. And I also have a code for free shipping, which is in the description. This video is officially sponsored by the 90s. Let's continue. We are going to go back into thrift shopping now, because I recently went to Copenhagen, where I hit up all my favorite thrift shops. I love them. Some of them are a little bit more pricey because, aha, Copenhagen, but there's just so much good stuff to be found. And I also made a guide, so if you're interested in my favorite thrift shops from Copenhagen, you can find the link down below to the blog post, and you can see all the cool spots that I love to visit. Cool. The first thing we got is more winter's clothes. Yes, but it is a turtleneck jumper, and what I really like about this is that I normally have a really hard time finding like tight fitted jumpers, and I love me a good oversized thing like any day of the week. But I also think it's really hard to style without, you know, using leggings or stockings and stuff like that. So something for jeans or something for a skirt, then a tight fitted jumper is better. And I do love me a turtleneck because I think it does something to my neck and like my cheeks, and I really like what it does and how that looks. And I got this for around £8, I think. So it's a little bit more expensive than the things I usually get in Aalborg. There's also a guide coming to the thrift shops here, by the way. But I also definitely think that it's worth it. It seems like it hasn't been worn ever. And this is something, I got another oversized thing. Hello. I got this shirt. It's not silk, definitely. I think it's actually just synthetics. And if you are wondering, if I do get synthetics, I wash them in a copy bag, but the synthetics that I do get, I try to wash as little as I can. Oh, it's silk, which is technically not vegan. I don't know, technically, silk is not vegan. We have to boil living animals to get silk, which is yikes. But I think I have sort of the same mentality towards secondhand silk as I do with secondhand leather, which is you don't actively pay the industry, so I think it's better. Do you feel? A lot of people ask me how I feel about secondhand leather, and it also kind of depends on the product. I don't know. I feel leather is an awful and grotesque industry, but we might as well use what we already have. It takes more resources to make vegan leather than to simply just use secondhand leather, so. Okay, that was a completely different thing. I got this oversized shirt that we now know is made from silk, yeehaw. And it just has that dad in the 90s kind of vibe. I love it. I recently styled it with a big black belt and heels, and that was it. I really love how that looks. And I seldom have like big flowy black things. I always end up going for, you know, like in my last thrift haul I showed you like the red shirt that I got, and this is just a nice, also like a beach cover-up thing. It's very light. I should have known it was silk. Cool. We are continuing. This is a very basic haul, by the way. There's not a lot of, you know, patterns or prints and whatnot. This is just very much stuff I use every day. I got myself a cardigan, and I got this from Depop of all places because I was looking specifically for a style, and I think Depop is great for that. It's just a basic black tight-fitted cardigan, but one of those where you can do like the little Instagram 90s girl, where you sort of button it up and then you just have your bra underneath. I think that's really cute. I'm so basic, but I just stand by it. I mean, I take enormous pride in liking the things that I like. So there it is. Then we have another little linen thing, yay! Which I actually ended up cropping, so you don't get to see it in its final form, or you get to see it in its final form, but not its previous form. But I got this little shirt and ended up cropping it, and I think it's intensely cute. It has some nice here little buttons. And again, I really love linen clothes and linen fabrics for summer because it's extremely breathable, so you won't get like which is what happens to me every time I wear polyester or something synthetic. When it's really warm out, I get sweaty just instantly, and that doesn't happen in the same way with linen because it's a natural fiber and it's intensely breathable. So yeah, and it's beige, and I still, like I said this the last time as well, I still haven't gotten over my beige face. Beige face. Okay, and another basic thing that I got that I don't have, I mean I have varieties of it, but not this kind of way, but I got myself a basic black pump, which I have already worn to a party, and I love these. They are completely, you know, nothing fancy is happening here, but they do intense things to an outfit. And high heels is one of those things where for the longest time I was really turned off by them, and I completely understand and accept if people don't want to wear heels, but I think it does something. I like it. I like it for me, and I think I'm getting to that point where I'm accepting that thing about me, that I just really do like heels. And I got these for about £4. And the last thing, which honestly I think is one of my favorites because I'm really embracing the 90s here, and I got this bag, and then the first thing my friends saw when they saw it was, that's so 90s. What? Yes, I know. I got like one of those small over-the-shoulder bags, and I've worn this throughout my visit to Copenhagen last week, and I love it. It's so cool. You go, yes. And yeah, I love it. There's really not much to say other than I love it, but I generally also just love when trends are just things that we did at one point before, and not like we don't have to reinvent fashion every single season. And fashion moves in waves. And the thing is, with fashion like coming in waves and fashion repeating itself all over again, means that you can find a lot of really trendy things in thrift shops basically all the time, because people are discarding and then they're buying new stuff, which inherently is awful and, you know, not very sustainable. But there is sustainability to be found within that practice. We just kind of have to reinvent it. And thrift shops is a great part of that. But I've been talking for like 20 minutes now. I'm so sorry. I hope that you liked this video. Let me know down below if you had a favorite thing out of all this that I showed you, or if you found anything really cool in the thrift shop lately. I would love to know. And take really good care of yourselves. Please remember to check out my Copenhagen thrift guide and all the amazing brands that I mentioned here. Everything is in the description, and I'm looking forward to see you guys next time. Take really good care of yourselves. Until then, bye. Oh my god, that was fast. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green, zero waste content, and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!